Be sure to subscribe, keep pounding, _TV, the best Panther YouTuber ever. I'm rocking with the big cat. Pause up. Keep pounding.
What's going on? Christian Miller here, linebacker of the Carolina Panthers. Just want to give a huge shout out to Keep Pounding TV. Keep doing what y'all are doing. Appreciate all y'all support. Everybody go subscribe right now to the YouTube channel, Keep Pounding TV. I'm rolling with the big cat.
Hey, everybody, what's happening? Shout out to my man QT0. I'm your host, Granny Gata, also known as the Big Cat. My cool guy with the balls up. If you're rocking with the Big Cat today, we're here to talk about the second quarter schedule for the Carolina Panthers, game 5-8. What should you expect? I'll tell you. But first, before we get started, do you love the Carolina Panthers like I love the Carolina Panthers? Yes? No? Maybe? Do you love the Carolina Panthers like I love the Carolina Panthers? If you love the Carolina Panthers like I love the Carolina Panthers, give me that dab. Let me tell you what we expect out of the second quarter, game 5-8 out of the Carolina Panthers. Let's get into it.
And here we go.
Before we get started, make sure you subscribe, click that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Now, if you didn't watch my last video, I went over the Carolina Panthers first quarter schedule, games 1-4. I had us going 3-1. Now, in this video, we're fresh from an Arizona win. Now we're headed to Atlanta where the players play. And we haven't beat this team like every day. We haven't beat the Atlanta Falcons since 2017. Matter of fact, they're 5-1 against us since that time period, including with one Cameron Gerald Newton. Now, if you look up on the screen right here, you're going to talk about Atlanta Falcons offense. 13th overall in points, 23.8 points a game, 379 yards total a game, which is 5th, 294 passing yards a game, which is 3rd, and 85 yards, which is 30th overall. Everything about the Atlanta Falcons screams that they should have multiple championships. This offense has been humming. I mean, as far as the passing game, at times they even had a good running game. Not this past year, but for whatever reason they can't put together. I guess that's what trash motherfuckers do. Also, their offensive line has been suspect. They're rebuilding their offensive line. They took 2 offensive linemen this past year, 2019 draft. So again, they're struggling to keep Matt Ryan from going to Emory Hospital. Let's move on to their defense right here. Atlanta Falcons defense was 23rd overall, 24.9 points they gave up. They gave up 355 yards a game, which was 20th. They gave up 244 passing yards a game, which is 22nd, 110 rushing yards a game, which is 15th. All right, so the Atlanta Falcons have always been in the middle of the road when it comes to their defense. One thing you can always say about the Atlanta Falcons since I've been a Carolina fan is their defense has been suspect. All right, their offense has always been somewhat prolific, but they can never put 2 and 2 together. The Atlanta Falcons is like the kid that ties the shoestrings together and wonder why they can't get far. They're always tripping over themselves. If you look up on your screen right here, the Atlanta Falcons key players last year, Matty Trash, 4,400 yards, 4,466 yards, excuse me. Todd Gurley last year, he's a new acquisition, 857 yards. A lot of you guys are saying that his knees won't hold up. I actually got a chance to meet Todd Gurley, so shout out to him. Shout out to Julio Jones as well, 1,394 yards. Now, when it comes to these offensive weapons, again, this is one where you're going to see our secondary tested early and often. Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, if I'm not mistaken, Treadwell as well. Todd Gurley, I'm going to say it again. You know, no disrespect to him because he's a Georgia Bulldog, Gold Dog, sick of woo-woo-woo. But one thing about Todd Gurley and one thing about anybody who's going to run against the Carolina Panthers in 2020, you're going to have a hard time. I don't care if they're the best running back in the league. If you run against Carolina in 2020, you're going to have a hard time. No difference here. I think you're going to make these guys one-dimensional. Same thing that we're going to do to Tom Brady. Again, and then, I forgot Hayden Hurst, just a new acquisition as well on offense. It's a lot of firepower on that offense, man. And for a young secondary, a secondary that's trying to figure things out, and a new coaching staff, it's going to be that learning pain right here, man. So look for us to kind of have trouble with that. But I do definitely think we'll shut down their running game. Let's look at their draft picks. A.J. Thurl, Clemson cornerback, which was a reach in the first round. They got Marlon Davidson, defensive line from Auburn. Solid pick right there. They got another center, Matt Hennessy, a guy who I was high on as well. Mikael Walker, Fresno State, another guy who I was high on as well. So, man, it looks like they're doing some things, man, especially on their defensive side of the ball. I'm not really worried about A.J. Thurl from Clemson. I watched him get cooked against North Carolina. Marlon Davidson is a guy who I think is going to fit in real nicely on their front four. Matt Hennessy, another guy who definitely can fit in on their offensive line, which they do need. And Mikael Walker brings speed at that linebacker spot. So all in all, man, it looks like they're in a situation where they're rebuilding their defense. But I think it's too late for Matt Ryan. In a couple of years here now, he's going to get the fuck up out of here. But in the future, I think the Falcons could make some noise. But against us this year, listen, I'm saying too much firepower, man. Too much firepower here, and I think we lose in Atlanta, a place where we haven't won in a long time here. I think we make some improvement. We're definitely going to step that run game up. But you got a Julio out there. You got Matt Ryan slinging the thing, Calvin Ridley. Dante Jackson is my comeback player of the year on defense, and I think he's going to be able to hold his own against one of these receivers. But the thing is, they have more than one receiver. They got more than one tight end. I mean, it's just too much, okay? And I'm not really worried about Todd Gurley. I think it's going to be that air attack that does us in. I see us losing this game right here.
We coming for you, nigga.
So coming off that Week 5 loss against the Atlanta Falcons, we head home to play the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears had a 29th ranked offense overall, 17.5 points a game. 296.8 yards per game, which is 29th. Ooh, shit. 205 yards a game passing. Ooh, shit. 25th. And 91.1 yards per game rushing, which was 27th. So 27th rushing offense, 25th passing offense, 29th overall yardage, and 29th in points. Mitchell Trubisky. Wow. Let's go to the defense, man. We're just going to move on from there. Their defense was ranked 4th overall when it comes to giving up points, 18.6, stifling. They gave up 324 yards a game total, which was 8th, stifling. When it comes to passing yards, 222.1, which was 9th, stifling. And when it comes to rushing against them, they only gave up 102 yards per game, which was 9th, stifling. Again, man, it's no secret. Chicago Bears defense is elite, man. It's going to be a handful, but I'll tell you right here. Let's look at their best players from last year. Mitchell Trubisky. Well, you know, a guy who's going to be replaced here soon by Nick Foles. A guy who's been madly inconsistent. One year, Trubisky looked like he's going to be legit, and now he looks like a Trubisky. So, obviously, man, he's just not the move. I'm not really worried about him. Nick Foles, a guy who also brought Philadelphia a championship against the Chicago Bears a while back. So, maybe he can come in and work his magic. I don't know. But either way, I'm not scared of neither one of those quarterbacks. Their running back, David Montgomery, a guy who's looked solid. Rookie came out of last year from Iowa State. Promising. I think he'll improve on these numbers when it comes to rushing. And Allen Robinson, a guy who had 1,100 yards receiving. Offensively, man, it's not there, man. It's just not there. They don't scare me. They don't pump Kool-Aid in neither one of my arteries. And I don't think they'll pump Kool-Aid in either one of the Carolina Panthers' arteries, especially when it comes to defense. I think we're stopping that run. Allen Robinson, it's just not enough. He's not enough offense to really just, terrorize us. And let's not forget, y'all. Let's put some respect on Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater went up to this Chicago Bears team last year with the New Orleans Saints, and he tore their asses up. So, again, with that being said, I think the thing continue. And the beat goes on. Teddy beat. It's going to be Teddy beating all on their asses. So, listen, whatever Sean Payton had, I'm pretty sure him and Joe Brady going to talk about what they did against them. And they're going to continue the thing. I'm not worried about Chicago, even though their defense is madly, madly tough. Let's look at their draft class right here. Cole Kmet, a guy from Notre Dame who I was high on. Jalen Johnson, I think he's a steal at cornerback, and they're trying to bolster up that defense, okay? Help out against that pass. Let's see who else they got on here. That's it for me. Jalen Johnson and Cole Kmet are the only two that I know. Oh, shout out to Kendall Villador from Georgia Southern. Another solid cornerback. That's a project as well. But all in all, I don't think it's enough for the Carolina Panthers to be nervous or scared about. Again, when you're going up against a hell of a defense like that, and they did have some injuries up front, to the defensive line. But all in all, I think Teddy B has a secret, and I see us getting this win.
We coming for you, nigga.
So after moving on from another dogfight, tough game against the Bears, which I think we'll win, we move on to New Orleans. If you look up on your screen right here, New Orleans was ranked 4th overall in total points. They were ranked 9th when it comes to total yards, 373. They were ranked 7th when it comes to passing yards, 265.2. And they were ranked 16th when it comes to running the ball, 108.6 yards per game. If you look at their defense, again, they gave up 21.3, which was 13th overall in points. When it came to total yardage, they gave up 331 yards per game, which was 11th. I mean, not bad. Almost a top 10 total yard defense. When it comes to passing yards, they gave up 241, 0.8, which was 20th. Okay, a little vulnerable there. And when it comes to rushing yards again, they gave up 91.3, which was 4th in the league. That's why a lot of you guys, when you say Teddy Bridgewater, he was this and he was that, he played behind actually a solid defense right here. Kind of a middle of a road defense, a hell of a run defense, okay passing defense. Let's look at their weapons from last year. Drew Brees had 2,979 yards passing. And now, mind you, he missed some time due to that hand injury. Also, Alvin Kamara had a drop-off year, 797 yards. And then Michael Thomas, 1,725. Not mentioned in this picture right here is Emmanuel Sanders, who is coming over from the San Francisco 49ers. Honestly, y'all, again, man, you're going to see our cornerbacks on full display here. You got Michael Thomas, you got Alvin Kamara, and then you got Jared Cook. We struggle with the tight ends. Can these linebackers really hold up against these tight ends? Now, this is the game where I think you'll truly see whether or not guys like Derrick Brown, YGM, and the newer guys brought in, and not only the newer guys, the rotational guys, the Stephen Weatherlys, the guys like them, you're going to see when they really need to earn their money, because you're going up against 3 Pro Bowlers on this offensive line. So, it's going to be the battle of the up front. It's going to be the battle up front. So, I just don't know if they're ready for that battle. You know what I mean? Given the fact that they're young, you know what I mean? New coaching scheme. It's going to be like on-the-job training. And if you know anything about on-the-job training, there's a lot of room for improvement there. I think they make some noise, but just not enough. And I think Drew Brees and the Saints and all those weapons, again, the tight ends, can we cover the tight end now? You know what I mean? A lot of people saying Eric Reed was the problem. Well, now you got Tariq Whitehead, you got Brian Burns, you got Shaq Thompson. Are we ready to cover tight ends now? And we're going up against a couple of them. We got Hayden Hurst out of Atlanta. We're going against Cook from New Orleans. We're going up against Rob Gronkowski from the Buccaneers, Cameron Brate from the Buccaneers. Are we fucking ready to cover tight ends? I don't think just yet. We'll find out here soon, though. Because of all of that, plus the receiver, plus our D-line being nullified by their offensive line, I think New Orleans wins it. If you look up on your screen right here, take a look at the draft class. Again, they strengthened their offensive line by getting Cesar Ruiz, Michigan guard / center. It's a nice pickup there. Zach Braun from Wisconsin, linebacker. Another good pick. Again, they struggled a little bit when it comes to covering the pass. They were 20th, but this is going to help out as well. And then Adam Truman, a guy from Dayton, the tight end. Another, if you paid attention to my draft video, I said he's one of the guys that I wanted. So again, you give him another weapon here. I just don't know if we're ready to take that next level here. But it's going to be a good learning experience. I don't see us getting blowed out here. But again, too many questions up front as far as are they ready to take on elite offensive line, covering the tight end, and then again our secondary gets exposed with Michael Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, and the whole gang. So this will be a loss down in New Orleans.
We coming for you, nigga.
So last but not least, we round out the second quarter of the schedule with the Atlanta Falcons at home on a short week, 8:20 Thursday night game. Now, again, y'all, I already went over their draft picks and their weapons, but again, you give them a short week. Division games are tough, y'all. Division games are tough, and that New Orleans game is going to take a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. You best believe Teddy Bridgewater wants to go down there and prove that he's a hell of a quarterback, a legit quarterback, and he wants to show out in front of the hometown. You know what I mean? His former hometown. But again, I think that's going to take a lot out of us just to turn around to get a short week to go against the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons again have been loaded on offense for years. Not really worried about Todd Gurley here. As I stated earlier, they have weapons, man. They have Hayden Hurst, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Laquan Treadwell, and looks like they improved that offensive line in the draft with Hennessy. Again, man, it's a lot. It's a lot, and let's see who else they got in the draft. If I'm not mistaken, I had it pulled up earlier. They got Hennessy, Marlon Davidson to go along with Grady Jarrett, and also to go along with Tack McKinley. So I'm not really worried about them on defense. I think their defense is going to have some problems with our offense. I'm not worried about A.J. Darrell covering fucking DJ Moore. Silly shit. But offensively wise, we got our hands full. And I'm not trying to be negative here or mean here, man. There's just a lot of inexperience in our secondary. You know what I mean? And I believe Chin will evolve into a Mike Mentor kind of safety in the future. You know what I mean? I think Dante Jackson's going to be able to hold his own right now. But again, that's just one side of the ball. I mean, I'm not going to put Dante Jackson on Julio. All right, I'll put him on Calvin Ridley, but then again, who do you put on Julio? And then if you don't put on who do you put on Laquan Treadwell? Then who you got? Hayden Hurst. You got a linebacker. I mean, just it's a lot of questions for an inexperienced secondary, inexperienced linebacker core, other than Shaq Thompson and Brian Burns. So again, this offense has always been a humming offense for the Atlanta Falcons. We haven't beat these guys since 2017. And I think they're going for the clean sweep here, man. Unfortunately, fuck them. I hate them. But it is what it is, man. I'm your host, Grande Gato, also known as the Big Cat. My cool cat, put the paws up if you rock with the Big Cat. So all in all, y'all, I got us going 1-3 in the second quarter with us beating the Chicago Bears. We lose to the Atlanta Falcons, beat the Chicago Bears, then we lose to New Orleans, and then on a short week, we come home to face Atlanta. I think it'll be a tough game, but just too much firepower for us to handle. So at this point, in my schedule that I have us at 4-4. So if we can make it through 4-4 through 8 games, I think we're all right, man. It's actually a hell of a good start for a team with a first-year coach, first-year offensive coordinator, first-year defensive coordinator, a bunch of new pieces, and I think that'll be all right, man. Get in the comment section. Let me hear from you guys. Make sure you subscribe, tune into the podcast, Anchor FM, Spotify, the whole 9, YouTube live stream. Follow me on Keep Pounding TV on Facebook. Also, El Grande Gato. Follow me on Twitter at KeepPounding_TV. Instagram, the whole 9. If you want to email me for inquiries, type in PanthersNews247@gmail.com. We can talk business. Let's get up out of here. Let the church say, down.
We coming for you, nigga.
Be sure to check out On the Live Show Radio. Check out the latest Christian hip-hop /R&B. Be sure to also subscribe to the YouTube channel.